Hello, this is a transit van with a 2.2 litre diesel engine, and that engine is knackered, but the body is okay. It belongs to my neighbour. He bought it from the metal recyclers. It was about to be weighed in. They was going to get £360 for it, so he paid 500, which is probably a bit much considering it doesn't really work very well. Then he had a bright idea. What if I got another engine, got it put in there, then I can sell the van. Anyway, it seems like he couldn't find an engine, but he could find another van. And this van was just brought to the yard and left here full of things, which are yet to be removed. My neighbour then asked if I would be prepared to take the engine out of that van, ready to go into this one. I'm not fitting it, just taking it out. So, van number 1, decent body, knackered engine. Van number 2, rotten body, decent engine. You can see where this is going. The only thing is, maybe I'm being a little bit too picky here. Is it really as straightforward as that? Because there's 6 years difference between van 1 and van 2. And van 2 has a 2 litre diesel, whereas van 1 has a 2.2. That could mean all sorts of differences. And it turns out, yes, it does. I won't tell you how much he paid for this van. This is the 2 litre diesel, which is different, very different to that one. It also has a different gearbox. It has different engine mountings. Every single pipe that goes to and from one thing or another is different. Van number 1's dashboard. Van number 2's dashboard. So I'm thinking, different engine, different gearbox, different mounts. It's going to have a different wiring loom. The ECU is going to have to go with it. Then this is like a massive floor mounted phallic symbol. In the other, it just juts out of the dash. So, I'm told by somebody else, oh no, it's straightforward, it's just engine and gearbox and drive shafts and stuff. But I'm not convinced. I think it's wiring loom, ECU, ignition barrel, and this, which means dashboard out as well. But it's not my problem. Not properly. I'm still taking the engine out. That's my job for this, which means I'm going to need my engine crane. I want to get the job done today, so no messing around. But what about where the engine crane is located? Yeah, it's there. Which means, unfortunately, I've got stuff to move around yet again. Time to get changed. Time to get a cable tie. Time to drink my cup of tea. I'll do that first. It's the first one I've had so far. Yeah, it's definitely what you would call just a bit rotten, this thing. I'm going to do this the easy way by waiting for the floor to dry out because I might have spilt a bit of antifreeze, and in the meantime unplugging everything I can see that needs unplugging before clambering underneath it to unbolt the engine from the gearbox. Well, I've managed to remove quite a few exciting bits so far, including all of those bolts. 2 of them were quite tricky to get to. The most awkward thing's yet to come, and that's going to be the catalytic converter. I can't really see how you get to it. You can see it from underneath, but you can't undo it from underneath. You can't see it from the top, but you can undo it from the top. So that means I've probably got to undo it further back and take the whole thing with it and just kind of sloosh it up like that. In the meantime, I'm getting filthy. I've undone the exhaust. That was quite easy, but there's about 3 foot of it going back, and it's fused together with rust. So only probably the tug of the engine will free that up when that starts to happen. far as I can tell, that is the engine and gearbox properly separated, and the engine mounts off. Now I need my long crowbar, but I don't know where it's gone. I can't say as I'm enjoying myself a great deal. It's just, there's a big difference between taking a Transit engine out and taking a K-Series out. If it was a K-Series, I'd have done it by now. Engine and gearbox have been separated, but they're not separated enough for the engine to be free. So I need to try and drop the gearbox down, but I can't because of this mount here. I've undone the bolts I can undo, but then there's a great big Torx thing underneath it, still connecting this to that. Can we see it? Can we see it? Yeah, that there. So that means I've got to remove the gearbox mount from the top as well, rather than just that part of the mount. I've got to remove the whole mount. And to do this, I've had to get the fuse box out of the way and start to undo the ABS unit. But then, if I want to move this forward, I can't because of this bracket. This bracket is welded on. Anyway, as a few more bolts are undone there, I might just hook it up again to the crane and yank it forward and just see if anything happens. You never know, maybe it will. This engine mount won't lift up any further and it can't move forward because of this bracket, which is pot riveted to the side of the body. So I'm going to use one of the Transit's weaknesses as a strong point. Metal fatigue. All I've got to do is just keep bending this until it breaks. And now what I must do is remove the hub nuts for the drive shaft, but I haven't got a big enough socket.
What? More problems? Really?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I found two bolts underneath that hold another part of the engine mount on that. If I can take that off, then maybe the engine will drop down. But they're not 15mm because they're too big, and they're not 16 because they're too small. Why would a 2005 van have imperial measurements? 5/8? Yeah. I was expecting to get a little bit dirty, but nothing like this. I'm absolutely grotty. And of course, it's not finished off. The amount of extra engine mounts and stuff going on with that engine just to make sure it doesn't fall out by accident is just ridiculous. Simply ridiculous. Yes, what were they thinking? Not only that, one of the mounting points on the side of the engine took the engine mount off, then the mounting point onto the engine has two almost 16mm bolts holding it in place. And they weren't rounded, they weren't knackered, they were almost 16mm and they were almost 5/8. But in actual fact, they were something like 19/32. That fit perfectly. What are they thinking? Maybe they weren't. Maybe somebody else has put those in as a joke. Excellent joke. Sure just saw Chop's garage walking around the lake then. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to go back to it tomorrow morning really, because I need to finish it off. All I've got to do is take the engine out, that's it. Not doing anything else with it, just taking it out. And then I can crack on with doing my own thing. I've not got much time to do my own stuff now. I need a shower. This is day 2 of what should have been a couple of hours work on the Transit. So, yeah, annoying. It's an annoyingly put together vehicle, made to make you frustrated, probably, Although somebody else might say, no, it's perfect, you've just got to do this. In fact, I know they will, because they always do. Oh, it's a piece of piss. You've just got to go about it right. You've just got to have the right tools. You've got to have the right mental attitude. Well, I disagree. I think if you're going to have a turbo, if you're going to have a part of the exhaust that you can't access because you have to take the turbo off to do it, and the only way to do it is to get right underneath the vehicle to separate it to a point where it's all rusted on anyway, then that's not good. I don't like these engine mounts. I don't like the fact that the engine won't separate from the gearbox. I don't like the fact that I've undone the hub nuts and knocked the drive shafts, but they're not prepared to go any further. That I can't lift it up any higher, I can't lower it down any further, and I can't pull it forward. So I'm going to have to just knock the ball joints off and see if I can pull the drive shafts out like that. One alternative would be just to simply leave the thing here. Give it a few more weeks, it'll have rotted itself to bits anyway, so then you just simply pull the engine out. And here we have a really lovely example of non-health and safety conscious. I mean, that's safe now, but look at the way those bricks just went straight through the sill. That's not really very good, is it? Progress report at 1:30. Finally got the catalytic converter undone. And then there's a big strap around it. Managed to get that undone as well. Actually given up on the drive shafts, and we've just gone through them. It's just the engine. The rest of it's going up for scrap anyway. But it's still not moving. It's still, although the exhaust is free, it's still catching on it and still sticking to it and just not really wanting to give up. So plenty more shouting and swearing yet. There comes a point, no matter how tired I am, no matter how defeated I feel, that I win. You can be as awkward as you like, but I will always get there in the end. Brute force and ignorance, 1. Transit engine, 1. There's 1 there. Time now for me to say, job done. Thank you for watching.